Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Pillars of Eternity with me, Break It Dawn.
Zawa is ready.
Okay, let's check out the Wolf Cave.
Sure.
Standing tall amongst the wolves inhabiting the cavern, this creature turns to face you as you venture forward. Scores of wounds and scars riddle its hide, and one dull eye stares out blindly from its skull. It growls a threat as you approach, one echoed by its fellows. You know this half-wolf for the spirit-shifted form of a druid. You see no gleam of kith intelligence within its gaze. At the creature's feet lie two villagers, one heavily wounded. The other holds an arm across his stomach. He looks up at you with pleading in his eyes.
Help! Please help us!
As the beast turns its head back towards the hunter, you sense a strange aura emanating from it. As if its hide were holding a tempest of soul essence, fierce and all-consuming as flame. Reach out for the beast's soul. It takes little effort, for the beast's soul threatens to overwhelm you with its intensity. Wrath and hunger buffet you on all sides, until you reach through the storm to find a smaller, dimmer pulse of light, and are swept headlong into a memory. The chill bites into your cheeks, and your lungs burn a little from the sun. You look down at the little wooden carving in your hand, and run your thumb along the edge of the carved bear's spine. The totem has already brought you luck. You found 2 rabbits and as many snares, and that's a rare enough feat these days. You're certain now that this was a gift from Gallowayne, that you're meant to find it on the lonely shrine, and take it.
Soldier.
Your father's voice snaps you out of your reflections. You rush forward to rejoin him beside the campfire. You brandish the hairs, catch a glimpse of a rare smile under his graying beard. But the smile disappears almost immediately, as a shadow falls over you both. You feel the rush of wind a moment before the log comes crashing down, and roll out of the way just in time. You hear your father cry out in pain, somewhere nearby, but the hairs on the totem slip from your grasp. You can feel power surging within you. Your heart thunders in your chest, but instinct pulls your senses into order, and you feel the familiar stretch of limbs, the sudden dizzying shift in height. But something is wrong. Your senses are fading, rather than growing stronger. There's a howling in your head, like a screaming chorus, and everything in you shrieks for you to bite, to tear, to eat. The memory slips from you, and when you come back to yourself, the beast is shaking its head as if to clear an itch, clawing at its ears. Soldrin? I've seen this before. I don't think you're going to get any answers beyond growls and dripping slobber. The creature snaps and snarls, evidently uncomprehending. It edges toward the nearest hunter, even as it watches you balefully with its single eye. So it looks like I have a choice. I could probably back out and go speak to Thyrsc, and see if he can come here and trigger Soldrin's memories. But if I do that, the hunters are going to die. And since there's no guarantee that I can save him, but there is a guarantee I can save the hunters, so let's do that. Rush forward to help the hunters. And the passionate, I think it's one of my anti-dispositions, isn't it? My disfavored dispositions? Beast turns from its wounded prey to face you, lunging forward with claws outstretched.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Bless you, stranger. Make our way back to the village. Thought we were done for. Yeah, me too.
Eyes open.
Thyrsk's brand. Unique wand, two-handed. 10% chance to cast combusting wounds on hit or critical hit, and grants fireball 1 per rest. That's really good. Combusting wounds is a fairly high level spell, isn't it? Thyrsc was an Adira noble and raid Cirrus who owned 600 acres of Vorless fields. He considered himself a pious man. His neighbors and tenant farmers knew him for his fervent devotion to Wotica. He labored alongside his tenants, and kept meticulous records of production and sales. Yet he was also known for his pitiless temper and his ruthlessness with shirkers. He cared to switch with him and would savagely thrash any worker he caught dawdling or lagging. Yet he was a favorite of the Imperial Governor, and so his excesses went overlooked. One day, Widewind approached him while he was doling out an especially savage beating. Widewind, fresh from his encounter with Eothas, demanded that Thyrsc release his victim. When the Lord refused, Widewind asked what the tenant farmer had done to deserve such treatment. He neglects his duties in the field, Thyrsc replied. Every day, he gathers less, yet still he enjoys the protection of my estate. Is it any wonder that your harsh treatment of the man would render him unable to fulfill his duties? Let him enjoy a week of rest. He'll return to your service renewed, said Widewind. Thyrsc sneered. You would reward his indolence. It is my right and my responsibility to discipline him for his errors. What authority gave you such power over this man? Widewind asked. Wotica, the Oathbinder. It is she who set me above the farmer, as his lord and employer, and her order that I serve in disciplining him. But Widewind persisted. Does not the quiet winter beget the fruitful spring? It is by Eothas' clemency that we enjoy rebirth in each new life, and restoration with each morning. And it is Eothas' season that blesses your fields. I say to you again, release this man. In his fury, Thyrsc turned on Widewind, his witch raised a strike. Yet the rod grew suddenly hot in his hand. He cried out, and as he held the rod, it ignited. The flame that gushed forth blinded him instantly, scarring his face in the manner of the burned queen. Thyrsc dropped the smoldering rod and fled to tell the governor what he had witnessed.
Yeah.
Okay, let's return to Stalwart. Report our, what do you call it, a success to Thyrsc. But 2 lives saved at the cost of 1. And potentially more since he's seemingly been eating a lot of hunters.
Sure. Sure.
Watch yourself on the mountain. In these lean times, everything looks like prey to something.
I found this wolf of yours.
I see. Is it done? Is he dead?
So he knows. I assume that he didn't know. I thought maybe during all the commotion of what happened when they were at camp, I guess the log crashing down and all that, I assumed that he thought that the wolf showed up to kill him. But I guess he would recognize a spirit-shifted wolf, wouldn't he? As a veteran hunter. Their shoulders stiffen, and then he sags, as if suddenly wary. Yes, he's dead.
Then it is done at last.
Thyrsc gives you a wary nod, turns toward the fire.
Thank you, stranger. I can't say I ever hoped this day would come, but it was inevitable.
The spirit shifter. Did you know him?
He was my son. Once.
See, I know this. I don't like these options. Thyrsc's face spasms with grief. You sent me to kill your son.
I would have done it myself. I have tried to. But with the ogre attacks coming more frequently, I may well have died before I ever have the chance. I could not risk it. You have to understand, to think my son capable of what he did, that was not Soldrin. The beast devoured my boy. And so, you did the right thing.
He was killing villagers. There wasn't any other way. I mean, we know that's a lie, but...
Difficult as it must have been, you did what you had to. The people of Stalwart are that much safer for it. You've brought me what peace the gods will allow me. This served me well in my younger days, and I hope that it will do the same for you. Welcome. Have a seat by the fire if the cold's gotten into your bones.
Cloak with a Frozen Hunt, plus 10% range damage, a 6 accuracy against beasts, and plus 3 damage reduction against freeze. Be really good on Sagani. Hunters have long made rough garments from the skins of their quarries. This cloak is of an especially high quality. The thick, soft pelts appear to have come from winter wolves. They provide excellent protection against cold and wind. Such a cloak would likely have been passed along several generations in a family of hunters. But I am trying to keep track of all the places I've been without Aloth so we can come back with a decent mechanic score. See if I missed any perception checks.
Does everyone else see that Stelgar and the undersized breeches?
Back to warm your hands, eh? Top quality.
I'm here.
Sure.
Okay. Go deal with the ogres.
Snows, how is it you failed to notice your rotten stench?
Failed to notice? Hardly. I put work into smelling this way.
Sure.
I should have expected.
I never know what sort of game is downwind. I need to smell like part of nature, not an interloper.
Alright, in we go.
The ogre that decorated this cave would be much in demand among the Takan. The skullwork is very pleasing.
Petrified skull is as cold and hard as stone. Wax tears dribble from the eye sockets.
Tell me.
Let's go!
Alright, so this would be a little annoying to go through without someone who can detect traps. It might be worth going back and respecking somebody.
So, here's an interesting fact.
So what does he
I
have?
once ate 7 owls while spirit shifted, then returned to my original form, and the owls didn't expand in my gut and kill me. Well, fine. I thought it was interesting.
Okay, we're gonna go back and respec Haravius for mechanics. Not sit here and try and brute force my way through traps. I've done that far too many times in too many games. Instead of survival and stealth, he's gonna do survival and mechanics.
Back to warm your hands, eh? What can...
He's a level behind too, so it's a little cheaper. Alright, so it's, yeah, done shock previously, so we'll keep doing that. But you know what? No. Just focus on, well, yeah, that's fine. There we go. Higher mechanic score than Aloth. I should probably respec anyway. 'Cause I don't use a lot of scrolls and so I don't really need lore. I guess it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Because there might be situations where I need to use a scroll and I don't have
Oh, my
spell.
hands do not look like that. Whoa.
Alright, let's try this one more time. And this time, with less traps. Also, swing back by the wolf cave. Now we've got a decent mechanic score on one of my characters. Make sure I didn't miss any
So it doesn't even bother you that most of your people died.
hidden checks.
And Alpaska learned to embrace death.
And the remaining few were enslaved?
As long as the spirit is free, bonds of the flesh do us no harm.
You've got to tell me how you do it.
I will show you. Come, let us find a mass grave to sleep in.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
Sure.
Yeah?
Alright. Does not look like I missed anything.
Right.
Oh, and if I find something good, you can have half.
Now what's this all about?
Light, flame, and sound. We'll keep to ourselves.
Quiet.
Oh, and if I find something good, you can have half.
Don't overcook it. You stop before it turns black. So lucky that you're here to tell me these things.
I'm ready. Uh-huh.
Oh, hey, chill out, buddy.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Right.
It was suggested that we could offer the ogres a peace treaty, but I think after killing all these guys, it even considered stealing. I think maybe we burned that bridge already.
Light.
I don't know how,
flame,
though.
and sound. We'll keep flame and
Consider it dead. Consider.
I'm ready. Oh, and if I find something good, you can have half.
On the hunt.
The inside of this minecart is caked with blackened grease. It smells of burnt fat.
On the hunt.
Okay, so we can head
I'll
down.
see what's ahead.
Hold off on that for right now.
Slowly now.
Alright, handful of enemies.
let's go.
Zawa is ready.
Blood.
Right.
Okay, another resounding success. The Cadnua crew.
I'll tinker with that. What could go wrong? All done.
There's a cannonball-shaped dent in the front of this shield. Seems like the ogre's in here having fun at least.
I can do that. All done.
All this stuff is marked as stealing. Wonder if I did this in the wrong order. I feel like it would be marked as stealing if there's a way to not have the ogre's aggro. So we can't enter here yet. A wide shaft snakes deep underground. The lip is surrounded by scattered refuse and half-gnawed carcasses. The wisps of light wink along the walls below. Yet the chute disappears into darkness. Peering into the depths, all you can see are shattered bones and streaks of frozen sludge stuck in the ice. A rancid odor of rotted meat wafts from the chute. Inspect your surroundings. The ice that varnishes the chute feels slick and smooth. It won't offer any traction. The faint echoes from the depths suggest that it's a long way down. However, you notice a thick stalagmite nearby. It looks sturdy enough to hold a rope and grappling hook. Now secure a grappling hook. Secure your hook to a thick, solid-looking stalagmite, giving the rope a good tug, or a tug for good measure. It holds, and you cast the free end into the darkness of the chute. Climb down the rope. You grab the rope and plant your feet as best you can against the slippery ice. You lower yourself slowly, sticking out rough patches and ribs in the marbled and filth-streaked ice. After several minutes, the mouth of the chute disappears above you. The climb tests your patience more than your strength, forcing you to choose your footholds carefully, until the chute opens into a wide cavern around you. You lower yourself hand over hand, keeping your half-numbed fingers wrapped around the rope. You still can't see the bottom. But as you look around, a glint of light catches your eye. See a small outcropping clinging to the wall nearby. Skeletal remains cluster on the ledge, and between the bones, you detect a glimmer. The edge of the outcropping is just close enough, you might be able to swing forward or toward it. Swing on the rope to make a grab for the ledge. You heave your weight from side to side, building momentum. The rope creaks under the increasing stress, but the ledge is almost within reach. You swing once more. As your fingers brush the outcropping, a loud crack resonates down the chute. The rope gives beneath your weight. You experience a panicked moment of freefall before the rope snags again. While you can't see all the way to the mouth of the chute, you guess that your grappling hook dug its claws into a ridge in the ice just in time. It's holding, for now. You tighten your grip about the rope and consider your options as the rope creaks softly overhead. That gives the option to secure it again. Alright, carefully climb up the rope to secure it once more. You decide to anchor the hook to a new support. From here, you can't tell how secure the rope is. You suspect that any sudden weight change or fumbling about could dislodge the rope and send you crashing down. Who you send to climb the rope and secure the grappling hook? Good question. Send Zawa. Zawa begins climbing up the rope. It creaks and moans at every pull. Zawa's deft hands and agile movements keep it steady. After a tremendous effort, Zawa reaches the top of the chute. The top of the stalagmite has broken off, and the grappling hook is barely holding on to the remainder. Zawa eases the hook down into the thick base of the stalagmite, wedging it firmly into place. With the hook secured, Zawa climbs back down to join you. I try to reach the ledge again. Confident that the rope is tightly secured, you pump your legs to get your rope swinging once more. You quickly pick up speed, and soon the outcropping looms within reach. At last you seize the edge and pull yourself up, next to the tangled skeletons. A leather bag lies half buried under the bones, and something glows within it. You pick it up and stash it away. With your prize secured, give the rope a gentle tug, climb onto it once more. Alright, so we're actually going to back up so we wrap up the episode, and then we'll climb down next time. I'm afraid we're going to climb right down into a fight. So climb back up to the chute's opening. You decide to climb back up the rope. Light from above guides your ascent, and you find steady footholds and grips on your way back up. Minutes later, you're back in the cavern with steady ground beneath you, and the chute at your back. We got Golden Gaze. It's a rod. 5% chance to cast exposed vulnerabilities on hit or critical hit. Ashfall was one of the most highly contested adherence settlements in Deerwood, and Baldwin Strangbroad was honored to receive an appointment as Thane there. However, he worried over his 2 children, displayed little of his martial skill. He hired a Valiant wizard to assist in his children's training, and this wizard crafted a rod specifically for that purpose. He promised that the rod's missiles were mild enough to avoid seriously injuring the Thane's heirs, but that the weapon would, in time, reveal the nature of their weakness. The rod performed exactly as the wizard had promised, yet after months of training, Baldwin's children are no better in combat. But half of Ashfall knew of their weak parries and blind spots. When both heirs fell to Glenfathan raid, the wizard fled, taking Golden Gaze with him. Okay, I'm going to call it here. Our next episode will actually descend down the chute and see what's at the bottom. But for now, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.